Hey guys, Danny Colville here with Colville Outfitters, Colville Precision Reels. Just got some walleye from last night. We were flatlining some stick baits, and we got ourselves a bunch of smaller 20 to 25 inch males. Really nice. So I'm just filleting them up. I'm using my trusty bait board here that doubles as a fillet board. So if you guys want an awesome board for all your fishing needs, look them up. They're called Colville bait boards. Really nice, pretty looking. I'll show you guys how I fillet some of these. I got a really dull knife, so please excuse me if it takes a little bit of time, but I'll show you guys how it all works. Trying to figure out how to flip the camera over. What in the heck? There's got to be a way to flip this camera around. Alright, I guess I'm going to do this here. Hopefully you guys can see me. Alright, right now I'm going to do one of the cheeks. I'm going to get a glove on first. I'm not a wuss. I will fillet these without gloves, but since I got them, why not use them? It does make it difficult to pull the skin off the cheeks because I can't quite get my fingernail on it. So when you're doing the cheeks, you want to make sure you do not nick the eyeball and get the eyeball juice inside of the meat. Not that some eyeball juice will hurt you, but who wants to eat a little scallop with fish eyeball on it? Probably another fish. So here's my little piece of cheek meat. It's the best part of the whole walleye. Gotta find a tab of skin hanging off the meat. Just right here, so I'll just pull it apart like so. And we're done. Done. I'm gonna throw the finished parts in here. And we need a bag for the scraps. If you guys are watching this and I'm missing any meat, or there's a way to fillet these fish that you know that's better, please let me know. I love to hear new techniques, and I love to help the subscribers learn other ways to fillet fish as well. So we'll go on to the next one here. My knife is very, very dull. I'm going to sharpen all of them when I get done with the video, but I started and I said, what the heck, I'll show you guys how I do this. So I always start on the tail side. These are all perfect eaters. So typically from here back is all good meat, and then all up front you have this rib cage. You have this rib cage here that puts the bones all the way up, so you're pretty much just left with a piece of back meat. I don't like to pick out all those bones for steelhead, or wow, a bird just pooped right here. But steelhead and salmon, I will pick all the pin bones out. It's totally worth it. We finally got some warmer weather here. It's 72 degrees today. It's pretty cold on the lake. You know, the lake was like, I don't know, it was probably 40 degrees last night on the lake, so it's pretty chilly. I was wearing fleece pants and a Sims Bulkley jacket, so I was trying to keep pretty warm. Alright guys, excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to get a paper towel because I'm slipping all over. Hang on. Alright, napkins or a rag are great too, just something so you can grab the tail of the fish. Alright, here we go, I got a grip on it. And also a non-dull knife would help too, but this one seems to be fine right now. Gets the job done. So these are all smaller males. They're all coming in to spawn with the females. The females haven't got in yet. And these fish aren't really feeding. I've checked all their stomachs. I've never found anything. It seems like they're in there just, you know, eating other smaller fish so they don't have competition for spawning, or they want to kill the smaller fish because they're worried about those fish maybe eating their eggs when they're spawning, or I can't really tell you, but I've never found anything in the stomachs of these smaller males. You know, chime in at the bottom if you've been springtime walleye fishing. Let me know if you've ever found anything in the bellies. I'd love to hear it. I have never, actually. So it's sad, I got this big giant piece of meat that I'm gonna waste, and I don't know what to do with it. So if you guys have an idea of what to do with this meat where the bones run through it, let me know, because it's, I mean, you know, I can cut in, as I'm cutting through here, I can feel all the bones, and man, I guess if you boiled this or grilled it, you could maybe get around them, but it's not really worth all the effort, in my opinion. I got 6 nice fish here, so. Alright, well, I'll keep going, guys. I'm going to do the cheek now. This is a cheek right here. They also talk about this part, too, which I'm not too sure about, but it's supposed to be really good. It's at the bottom. It's like the throat of the fish. People say that's really good. I don't know how to do that. No one's ever taught me. And these are smaller fish, so if there is a little piece of meat in there, not going to be really worth it, but this little cheek is definitely worth it. So we're going to get that little piece of cheek meat out. It's like a half a mouthful, but it is super delectable. It's like a scallop. You could throw them in your fryer, breaded, or sear them in a pan with butter. Don't overcook them. That's your right there, that's your cheek. I'm trying to do this quick here. So this looks like a fish that didn't get bled out last night, which I'm not too happy about that I got one of those, because all the fish I got, I made sure I bled out. The guy who owns the boat doesn't like me doing it because he thinks the smaller fish are just as good if you don't bleed them out. He doesn't like to get blood all over the boat, but I was ripping their gills, don't tell him. Because I like fresh, non-fishy fish. Okay. Got to get rid of that bony section. Tell my daughter we're having chicken nuggets for dinner, but it's really walleye nuggets. Little does she know. I only have a little bit of ice left, but I'm going to put it on the good fish. A guy came into the shop today looking for an electric fillet knife, and I was all out of them. And I was like, why would you want an electric fillet knife? There's something about filleting fish with a manual old school knife that's really nice. And he's like, I got 50 perch to fillet. And I'm like, okay, well, I get it now. I don't want to fillet 50 perch either with a regular knife. But there's something nice about doing it with an old school knife. I've been filleting fish since I've been about 10 years old, so I like doing it with a standard knife. I typically like them when they're a little sharper than this, but hey, it'll do for right now. There's a cheek. I just gotta find some skin. Grab it. Pull the skin right off. Boom, that guy's done. I'm gonna hopefully do a video of some mushroom foraging soon, but I just haven't had a chance to get out there lately. We found some the other day up near Rochester. Of course, it was like a fast thing where I saw some on a front yard, so I hopped out of my car and ran up on the front yard and grabbed them. So I didn't really have time to pull the camera out and show you guys. But I love mushroom hunting. I got a really cool mushroom shirt coming out. It's got a steelhead and morel mushrooms. And I have a pink salmon with some larger white mushrooms. That looks really cool. So if you like mushroom hunting, you know, check out my pages on Instagram or Facebook. You guys could see the designs there. Wow, look at this. Interesting. That is all fish sperm. That is... ugh, gross. That is hardened fish semen. Wow. I saw a lot of fish nut all over the docks last night. So I think everybody's doing really good out on the lake. We're fishing pretty shallow, like 5 to 7 foot on Lake Erie at night. It was a full moon last night, so all the light colored stick baits were working, the storm thunder sticks and the ghost, and there's a new lure by Walleye called Moon Eyes that we were running. We did real good on those too. And there's been some nicer fish. What was really cool is we were going through pods of them where we get like 5 big ones, and then we go to another section where there'd be smaller, like 15 inchers. So they were, the age class was really interesting. The differences we were getting into, and we only made one pass and we were done. I couldn't really, besides the white stick baits, I really didn't get to find any sort of pattern that was more effective than another. And this is what you get when you bleed the fish out. Why don't you bleed them out, guys? Bleed them out. Even if they're walleyes, bleed them out. Especially the bigger ones. It makes a huge difference. Get that nice, translucent white fillet. Sweet, delicious. If you're going to eat walleye, these are the walleye. I mean, all walleye are good, but the small males in the spring while the water's still cold, oh my god, nothing's better. And I got my prototype bait board I'm actually filleting these fish on to see how it will hold up. So far, so good. I won't know until I go to tie some eggs on it. And for my eggs, I pretty much just use salt cure. So the eggs being on the board, I use all fresh eggs. It's not going to hurt the fish, and the fish certainly isn't going to hurt the eggs. Unless there was some blood. If some blood got on the board, I'd want to wash it off. I don't like blood in my fish eggs of any kind. I mean, I know that people do catch fish on bloody skein and shit. I don't, because I just don't have as much confidence as the fresh stuff. There's a nice walleye cheek. Pull that skin off. Bada bing, bada boom, all done. So it's the end of steelhead season. I mean, what are you guys fishing for right now? You know, you got walleye, you got the browns in tight, the Chinooks that are in, that are good for catching on the boats in Lake Ontario and Lake Michigan. What are you guys doing where you live? Share some of your stories down below. They have spring Chinooks and summer steelhead in the West Coast right now, which I'm super jealous about. You guys are lucky that I got 3 little girls. There's that piece of meat that's in between, that's on the bottom of their belly. I'm going to try to cut that up and see if it's any good. I've been hearing about how good that is. I mean, there's no bones in there, so. So that's a piece of meat you get right there. Pretty nice. I'm going to eat it. It's usually not one I eat, but we're going to try it out. It's like belly meat. There's a name for it, I can't remember the name. Just gotta take the skin off and we're good to eat. Walleye fish fry. Oh, my neighbors are out here. They're probably like, who's that crazy guy talking to? Talking to all my awesome YouTube subscribers. And all my friends. Thank you guys for subscribing, by the way. I do appreciate it. And I'm sure most of you know how to fillet fish. So what's the use of watching videos besides hearing some of my jokes? But you'll hear some senseless facts and stuff like that spending time here on my channel. Alright, this one is done. A couple more left and we are ready to take this skin off and have ourselves a fish fry. Oh, 3 more. All right. This is a smaller one. This is probably 17 inches. The limit is 15. There was a lot of shorts in the lake last year. A lot of fish that were under 15 inches. So it's going to be nice to have a shot at some of those fish that we couldn't keep last year. We have 65 million fish in Lake Erie, which is a 25 million fish surplus from what we need. So the fishing should be pretty gangbusters. If you guys want to do a charter the captain that I suggest you look up his name is Nick Jago, and he does this nighttime fishing. I don't know if he's got any open dates, but check him out. He was actually the guy I fished with last night. And I know he had a charter before we went fishing, and he had a 4-man limit in a couple hours. He was back to the dock by 10:30, and that was who I went fishing with. So his name's Nick Jago, Crazy Tail Charter. I can't get his number for you guys right now, but that's his info. I will tell you guys something else. I bumped into a guy last night who drove down to the docks, and we were shooting the shit, and he was down looking for smelt at Art Park, and then he went down to the Lewiston boat launch, and he said that he saw the guys night fishing at the boat launch out in the main stem of the river, and they were catching walleye one after another on jigs and stick baits. Pretty cool. So I would assume they're using split tail soft plastics, and they're probably using like a deep diving Rapala or something. So if you're trying to get a good shore opportunity, that's a good one. And also you could go right off Hamburg Beach or behind Hoke's restaurant in Hamburg. That's all really good walleye fishing. You could do that from ashore. Typically the best time is like 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. You need waders. Don't have waders, don't even bother going. And another trick to these walleye cheeks, if you fillet them up and out, and just before you're going to finish the cut, don't cut through the skin, then you have some skin to kind of get your fingers underneath the cheek and kind of pull up. You can get the piece of meat without even grabbing the piece of skin and pulling it apart. Here's another good one. I mean, nice fish for nighttime fishing. It's like a 3-4 pounder right here. Nice fish. This knife is begging to be sharpened right now. Begging. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do on this fillet, since I'm going to try this new belly meat, is I'm going to cut. Feel bones right there, so I'm going to do like a... I don't know about that piece. Let's do this one though. Typically the belly meat on all fish is the most oiliest and the best tasting. It's my favorite part of smoked steelhead and salmon is the belly meat. It's so rich and delicious. I'm a dark meat kind of guy with my chicken and turkey though, so not everybody likes the same stuff. I like my fish to taste like fish, although walleye tastes like candy. Okay, so I'm going to leave the cheek still attached. I'm going to grab the cheek meat, I'm going to pull it and leave the skin behind. That's how I do that. Kind of taking my time with this. I could zip through them pretty quick with a sharp knife, but it's not a first mate thing on a boat. So I'm not doing this for clients, so I don't really got to rush. I could take my time and relax. This one has a lot of that belly meat right there. There's that nice cheek meat. Look at that! I almost want to eat it raw for you guys. If I didn't have slime on the other side of my hand, I probably would do it. Especially with a little soy sauce and spicy mustard. Although I'd probably have a lamprey growing out of my you-know-where if I did that, so maybe it's a better idea not to. Okay, there's a big bone right in the middle, but this is a nice piece of meat you get right there from that belly meat. It looks like there's some thin layer of like white skin on the inside that just pulls right up. But I don't think that would hurt you if you fried it up. So I'm going to leave it on. We're almost done. One more little one after this. I would do a video on cooking them, but who needs to see that? I don't want you guys eating my phone. If you guys saw me cooking this walleye, you'd be biting your computer screen because it's so delicious. All right, one more. I know I bled this one out. That's my annoying neighbor's kids. They're moaning in the woods. I don't know what's going on. I need one more napkin. Hang tight. Some beautiful meat. Cheek meat, yummy. Throw it in the cheek bag. Get rid of this bony meat. I think God put those bones in. Number one, so the fish had some protection on their lungs. And number two, if those bones weren't in there, walleye would be the perfect eating fish. Because you'd get an awful lot of meat. It'd be very, very easy. You'd skip a couple steps filleting. But why make anything that's perfect? Steelhead are perfect. That is something God made that's amazing. They are absolutely perfect. I dream about steelhead every night. Okay, last fillet here. We're ready to go. Get the skillet with the oil ready. I used to have a deep fryer, but my psychopath ex-girlfriend is keeping it at her house, along with my really nice clothes that I'm never going to get back, and an expensive wedding ring, or expensive engagement ring. That's okay. You live and you learn. Big lesson. Now I know what not to do and what not to look for. So my advice to any of you youngins, don't get married. Guys told me that. I spent my whole life as a child in bait shops and on the jetties fishing, and every old guy used to tell me, don't get married. I almost broke their rule. You'd think I wouldn't break a rule of a straight bass fisherman who is in his 80s and is telling me not to get married. He's got to know what's going on. So, luckily, things fell through, and now I get to fish as much as I want. If you get married, you better make it a point in the beginning that you let your lovely lady know that you love to fish. I don't know why girls give guys a hard time about fishing. I mean, we're not going to bars. We're going on rivers and boats with our friends that are the same sex as us. It's the best possible thing we could be doing as partners. But still, they like to give us a hard time because they're controlling. Unless you find yourself a good woman out there. My buddy just showed up. He's got a brand new Kingpin Zeppelin he's selling me for next to nothing because he's hurting on money. So I'll let you guys go. But thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. What up, Tim?